Hey guys, welcome to Chapter 5, Lesson 3. Today we're going to be talking about how to determine if we need to estimate or find an exact answer. Now, this should hopefully be something you've heard about before, right? If they don't use the word about or the word estimate, then usually we need an exact answer. But for some reason, when kids take the test for this chapter, there's a lot of about questions and they read right over it. So we're going to focus on that today. Let's get started. All right, our first problem here says Mrs. Trainer needs to purchase a classroom response clicker and a new calculator. A clicker is, $31.99. I thought I saw about. Oh, I did. Okay, $31.99. And a calculator costs $11.75. About, give that a big circle, about how much money will it cost to buy both? Okay, so first we need to understand the problem. What facts do you know? We know that Mrs. Trainer needs to buy a clicker for $31.99 and a calculator for $11.75. What will we need to find about how much money it will cost to buy both the clicker and the calculator? Okay, so you can blank the cost of the clicker and calculator. You can estimate. That's what we're going to do. The cost of the clicker and the calculator. Also, another one that we could go in there is we're going to add them. All right, so first we're going to round the cost of the clicker and calculator to the nearest whole dollar. Now, sometimes that confuses kids too. Or there's a problem that says you need to round it to the nearest whole dollar, right? So that would be like $10, $11, $12, no cents. We're going to try and get rid of the cents. Okay, so $31.99 would become $32. $11.75, well, that's more than 50 cents, right? Quite a few. 25 cents more than 50 cents. So that one's also going to round up to $12. Round up. Also round up, but to $12, not to $32. Okay. So next we need to find the estimated total cost. So I'm going to take 32 plus 12 and get $44. So Mrs. Trainer will need to spend about $44, and that's a good estimate too, because when we're talking money, we have to think about taxes. I would probably put in another dollar just because I would want to make sure that I have enough money to cover the taxes of the calculator and the clicker. So she's going to spend about $44. So if we estimated, we'd say 32 is about 30. And 12 is about 10. So if I did 30 plus 10, be about $40 is what we would say quick. So yes, 40 is about 42, which checks out. But it's always good when we're talking money to round up because you want to make sure that you have enough and you need to have enough to cover taxes. So there's that. Here we go. Practice the strategy. Madison's family drove to her grandparents' house. They drove 58 6/10 miles the first hour, 67 2/10 miles in the second hour, and 60 5/10 miles in the third hour. They followed the same route to return home. About how far did Madison's family travel? So what facts do we know? First hour is 58 6/10 miles, MI, I'm going to abbreviate it. Second hour, HR, is 67 2/10 MI. And the third hour is 60 5/10 miles. And then we know we need to multiply it by 2 because they went that long to get there and then on the way back. So we'd have to double it, right? What else? What do you need to find? How far did they travel? And then we need to remember the word about. Okay, my plan. First step, I'm going to round to the nearest whole number to ones place, okay? Second step is we're going to add them. And then the third step, we're going to multiply by 2, right? Because they went that far one way and then they went the same distance back. So we got to multiply our total by 2. Okay, let's solve. So 58 and 6/10 is going to go to 59. 67 and 2/10 is going to go to 67. You know what? I don't like this. I'm changing my mind. I'm not going to have it go to 59. I'm going to have it go to 60. I'm not going to have it go to 67. I'm going to have it go to 70. I'm going to round to the tens place instead of the ones place because that would be easier. And I like easier. Okay, and then 60 and 5/10 is just going to go to 60, which we like that, okay? So 6 plus 7 plus 6, we get 12, plus 7 is 19. Okay, so 190 miles one way. So now if I double 19, I know 19 plus 19 is 38. So it's going to be 190 times 2 is 380 miles. And then that's called round trip. Okay, that's called round trip because that's how far it took them to get there and to get back. So is my answer reasonable? Is it reasonable? Well, I guess here's what I'd do for this. I'd say, you know what, if I looked at these 3 numbers, they're all about 60. So if I took my average of 60 and I multiplied it by the 3, I'd get 180. And then if I multiplied that by 2, I'd get 360. So about 360 miles. That was a lot easier to do than this. And so then we could say 360 is about 380. So that checks out. Should probably put miles. Okay. Let's do one more, I guess. Okay, determine whether you need an estimate or an exact answer to solve each problem, then solve. Page 320. A library wants to buy a new computer that costs $989.99. So far, the library has collected $311.25 in donations. Now, here's the problem. These are all estimating ones. Now, when you do your work, it's not going to be all estimating ones, so pay attention, please. About how much more money does the library need to buy the computer? So this is going to be a subtracting, right? I know, so I'm going through the steps. I know the computer costs $989.99. I know they already have $311.25. What am I trying to find? I'm trying to find how much more money does the library need to buy the computer. That's going to be subtracting. My plan is I'm going to first round, then subtract. So $989.99. Well, that's about $990. Right? Could I do 1,000? I could. I'd be fine if you did 1,000, but. And then we're going to subtract 300. We could just take 300 away. That's fine. I was saying we could do 310. That wouldn't be too tricky either, but let's just do 300. $690. So then I'd say the library needs about, so I was put 300, $690 to buy the computer. Okay, and what I like about this, you guys, is it's doing a lot of different stuff. It's not just like, hey, we're going to divide. Hey, we're going to multiply. Right? We're getting some adding. We're getting some subtracting. You have to do 2 things, add and then multiply. So this is good practice to stretch your brain and remembering all the different types of things that we're doing. So give the assignment a try. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you later. Bye.